Hey, what's good? I love movies. I love making them. I love watching them. 2 years ago, the Watch Mojo channel listed off top 10 American movies banned in other countries. And ooh, I can't wait. I hope they tell us why, though. I'm going to be working on some drawings for an animation. Before we get into it, remember to go to coconutjustice.com to get you some clothes that I think would look good on you. Let's go. Oh boy, they're starting off with Zoolander. When I first saw this movie, I was like, what in the actual? And then at the end of it, I was like, yep, okay, cool. That was funny. Silly, silly comedy. All right, let's take a look. What's this? What's this?
A center for ants?
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 American movies
What?
banned in other countries.
Don't worry, nobody watches this stupid show.
Yeah.
What's that ominous glow in the distance?
For this list, we'll be looking at Hollywood films that couldn't be shown in certain areas outside of the U.S. We'll include movies whose bans were eventually overturned. Do you know of an American-made film that was banned from this list? Let us know in the comments below. Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear mission log, Stardate
I
3901.
haven't seen this one
After
yet.
a full year of being
Why?
removed, our first hyperspeed test flight is a go.
Who are you talking to?
No one.
You were narrating again.
I was not.
In 2022, Chris Evans starred as the breakout Toy Story character Buzz Lightyear. While the cosmic action was mostly accepted, there was one aspect of the film that got it banned. During the film, two women shared a kiss. That affectionate moment was allegedly enough to get the animated feature banned in 14 countries.
Mission failure imminent. In 3,
Grandma always said she believed in you.
2, 1.
There was a big swirly do. I think I need a bag.
No.
Please record your last words.
Do not vomit inside the vehicle.
It appeared that nations like Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Malaysia all deemed the scene so inappropriate that they wouldn't screen the movie at all. In the end, Disney chose not to remove the kiss in those territories. Chris Evans later spoke about his disappointment with the decision.
There's always going to be people who are afraid and unaware and trying to hold on to what was before. But those people die off like dinosaurs.
As of June 2022,
God,
it was
no.
still unclear if Lightyear will take flight in those banned countries.
To infinity?
And beyond.
Number 9,
I'm gonna add
The Da
that to
Vinci
the
Code. Discussing
to-do
certain
list.
religious subjects can instantly stir up
Oh, such a good
controversy and
movie.
backlash. The cinematic adaptation of the Dan Brown novel,
I
The Da
love that
Vinci
stuff.
Code, learned that the hard way.
You say you hate history. Nobody hates history. They hate their own histories.
During the movie, Tom Hanks plays Robert Langdon, a world-famous symbologist on the trail of an ancient religious mystery. Halfway through his journey, he learns that the Catholic Church in the film tried to keep the world from discovering that Jesus had a wife and child.
But how could Christ have a bloodline unless...
Mary was pregnant at the time of the crucifixion.
Many people in the real world found this fictional idea to be too
This isn't the time or place, but oh, I can't wait. I wanna have this conversation with someone. Long story short, to me, if Jesus did have a wife and kids, I'm not trying to co-sign to anything goofy. I'm just saying if, and he died for your sins, having a wife and kids, to me, that makes it even more of a sacrifice. Like he had a wife and kids to get home to, and he got killed. Like it'd be different if he was homeless and he didn't have anything to live up to or to live for, la la la. And all this, if he had a wife and kids, boy, it just brings a certain level of validity to what he did.
controversial. Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Egypt, and more wouldn't entertain the idea of the film being shown. Despite the widespread bans, the film made over $750 million and
was a
kicked
great
off a
movie.
franchise.
I was so wrong.
Yeah, it was a great movie, and it's things like this. It's when you investigate something as historic as religion. People attach themselves to religions and to, whatever it is. people that do yoga, like when you first start doing yoga, when some people they start doing yoga, they fall into it like hella hardcore, and that's all they ever talk about. Same thing with the religion. Like it just becomes you. It becomes such an important part of you that you get pissed off when people challenge your ideas. And this is what movies like this do. And you know, if you want to maintain control, you can't be showing movies like this if you're trying to keep people in their place.
Sonia didn't want you to help guard the secret of the Holy Grail. Sophie, you are the secret.
Number 8.
Spoiler
The
alert.
Simpsons movie.
You have to go out there, face that mob, and apologize for what you did.
I would. But I'm afraid if I open the door, they'll take all of you.
No, we won't. We just want Homer.
Well, maybe not you, but they'll kill Grandpa. I'm part of the mob.
Since this Springfield family has been known to push the envelope on several occasions, it wasn't surprising to hear that it wasn't accepted everywhere around the world.
Sir, I'm afraid you've gone mad with power.
Of course I have. You ever tried going mad without power? It's boring. No one listens to it.
When Myanmar banned the film, there were a few guesses as to what got the Simpsons movie banned. The movie does contain harsh critiques of government overreach. Additionally, there's scenes with mob violence and guns. There's also a scene where Bart Simpson skates around the town completely naked. But the movie was apparently banned in Myanmar because the colors red and yellow aren't allowed on their movie screen. Allegedly, that combination reflects the colors of a disliked group within the country. Not even Spider Pig had the power to change
They don't
their
like
minds.
McDonald's.
Spider Pig
does
whatever
a Spider Pig does.
Can he swing from a web? No, we can't. He's a pig. Look out, he is
a Spider Pig.
Number 7, The Hunger Games.
Happy Hunger Games.
Great movie.
And may the odds be ever
in your favor.
The events of the Hunger Games take place in a future dystopian America where young people from each district of the country are chosen to participate in a battle to the death. Traditionally, only one person is allowed to walk out of the games alive.
There's 24 of us, Gail. Only one comes out. Yeah. And it's gonna be you.
The narrative provides scathing critiques on the dangers of dictatorships and classism. While its strong political subject matter could warrant a ban, there are other parts of the premise that were a no-go in certain places.
We might need to watch this movie again.
It's the only thing I know how to do.
The movie's
Remind
depictions of
America.
violence prevented it from being shown in Vietnam. Although some audiences within the country disagreed, the government was resolute in its decision.
Thank you for your consideration.
Number 6, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Sally, I hear something. Stop.
I mean,
For some films, getting banned is a badge of honor.
if that's the case, then Scarface should be in this lineup.
Makes it a cult classic. One of the most famous examples is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The gruesome horror set the gory bar for every slasher film that's ever followed. Censors around the world struggled to handle the film's heavy amount of body horror, blood, and violence.
What
As a
are you
result,
doing,
the
son?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't screened in places like Brazil, Iceland, and Sweden. It took 20 years for the ban to be lifted in the UK alone. But the multiple bans only added to the film's allure. Over the next 40 years, the movie made over $150 million at the box office. It didn't have to play everywhere to become world famous.
There's some people that
Number
really
5,
like this style of
Brokeback
movie.
Mountain. Throughout some parts of the world, it's still considered taboo to portray LGBT plus issues or characters on screen. So it's unfortunately no surprise that Ang Lee's Oscar-winning film Brokeback Mountain was banned.
You know, friend, this is a goddamn bitch of an unsatisfactory situation.
The film stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger as a pair of cowboys who fall in love with each other. Over the years, the two men are forced to hide their relationship and sexuality.
This is a one-shot thing we got going on here.
It's nobody's business but ours.
The deep and honest exploration of two gay men struggling to embrace their romance wasn't permitted in certain places. While it was banned in the United Arab Emirates, it wasn't screened in movie theaters within China. Ironically, the latter country commended Ang Lee on winning the Best Director Oscar for Brokeback Mountain.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Why don't you?
Number 4, The Interview. One look at the plot summary makes it clear why this Seth Rogen comedy was unbelievably...
I was trying to remember Seth Rogen, The Interview. This is the one about the North Korea with Kim Jong-un.
The movie centers around 2 journalists who are asked to assassinate Kim Jong-un while going to interview him.
You want us to assassinate the leader of North Korea?
Yes.
What?
Additionally, their target is portrayed as a sad, lonely man-child with serious daddy issues.
I don't need my father. I am strong.
Before the movie ends, the unlikely heroes manage to kill the dictator with a graphic and slow-motion explosion. The portrayal of Kim Jong-un in simulated violence enraged the North Korean government. Not only was the film banned there, but Sony Pictures was the subject of a massive cyber attack for producing it. The hack and threats caused The Interview to be pulled from American cinemas as well.
Hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't
They
us.
hate us because they ain't us. That's a great saying, okay?
Hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Number 3, Zoolander. It's easy to forget that a silly comedy like 2001's Zoolander was the subject of a serious ban.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
This goofy story sees Ben Stiller playing a vapid male model named Derek Zoolander, who tries to stay relevant by working for a renowned fashion icon. Unbeknownst to the really, really good-looking guy, he was actually being brainwashed to assassinate the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Do as you've been trained to do and kill the Malaysian Prime Minister!
Although Zoolander ultimately stops the dastardly plan, the government of the real country was not amused by the joke and didn't allow the film to be shown at all.
Thank you, Derek Zoolander, for saving my life.
Pakipeya dan Yafashun, kami mengucapkan sama-sama Perdana Menteri.
Over in Singapore, it was temporarily banned for the country's close relationship with Malaysia and its depiction of illegal substance use. Zoolander clearly wasn't a laughing matter in these nations.
No. Be cool. Come on. I'm sorry. Please, go ahead. My mistake.
Number 2, The Last Temptation of Christ. Like The Da Vinci Code, Scorsese's classic The Last Temptation of Christ was an adaptation of a widely controversial novel. Both the book and the film outraged a number of religious people. The story sees an angel prevent Jesus from dying on the cross so he can live out a happy life as a family man. But after seeing the violent, widespread rebellions, he realizes he was tricked by Satan and begs God to die for the world.
I want to pay the price. I want to be crucified and rise again.
This portrayal of Jesus and story led to director Martin Scorsese receiving death threats. The film was banned for years throughout South America, Asia, and Europe. It was even removed off of Singapore's Netflix service in 2020. The film may continue to generate backlash for years to come.
They hated it.
3 days later, he rose up from the dead and went up to heaven.
Number 1, Back to the Future.
My calculations are
What?
correct.
Really?
When this baby hits
Oh,
88
probably.
miles per hour,
Probably because
you're
of
gonna see
the.
some serious
While many films are banned prior to or shortly after their initial release, some movies find themselves banned long after their debut. This was the case with the sci-fi classic Back to the Future.
Whoa, this is heavy. There's that word again.
Because of
Heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?
After 26 years and 2 sequels, Marty and Doc's adventures were officially banned in China. In 2011, the Chinese government forbade all films and television shows about time travel. Prior to the ban, the genre was incredibly popular on Chinese television, but the government wanted its citizens to have more respect for the way history originally happened. As a result, the Robert Zemeckis classic was banned alongside any other movie that traveled through time.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough.
boy, you got to pay attention to what they're saying, and then pay attention to some of the things that you're hearing about on the news, where people think that they know the best way for you to live, and they want you to live under their rules, and they want to be the ones that are creating the rules. They want to be the solution to problems that don't really exist. That was crazy.
To get up to 88. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need
roads. That was really cool. It's really weird to see why movies are banned, and it all boils down to people wanting control and wanting to control what's happening in your brain. See what I'm saying? Like, wow. They said not to watch this movie because they want it to be a little more realistic to history, you know? That is a weird excuse. Some of the religious ones, again, same thing. But if you're trying to keep control of your population, that's what you do. You take things away. You take away movies. You take away books. You take away all that stuff, and the free thinking part is gone. And I we watched a video earlier about America being the best country subjectively, right? Well, one of the things that makes us the best country in the world, in my opinion, is the fact that for the most part, we do have states that are being ridiculous, but for the most part, you can read whatever book, you can watch whatever movie, and then you make up your mind. I don't like people to tell me this is exactly how it goes, and this is, no. I'm good. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to read all the books. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to do all the things. I'm going to do all the things that is going to give me the opportunity to make decisions, an educated decision. I'm not just going to go off of what someone says. Oh, because this and that, because I say so. Whoa. So anyway, if you start seeing people banning books and banning movies and stuff like that, and I know sometimes I get caught up in it too, because sometimes there's some ridiculousness. Like, for example, I don't understand why the Ku Klux Klan is still around, but the FBI and the CIA dismantled the Black Panthers. Like, who makes that decision? I don't think that that's fair at all. I think that's horseshit. But then when people go and they say that I know and I have all the answers and all this, you don't. Nobody does. That's why a democracy is the best way to do it, because more people have input and we move forward with more than just one person's opinion. What does any president in history understand about you being you? The majority of us are struggling. That, to me, lets me know that they don't understand. And then they get afraid that we're going to start thinking for ourselves, and we're going to start, collaborating and getting together and making decisions together that's going to break the control that they have over us. That's why they ban movies and books and stuff like that. We don't need none of that. We need to move together as an educated population, make really good decisions, and then we lead by example. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with each and every one of your friends, and if you want to come hang out with me, watch videos while I work on creative projects, hit that subscribe button, then change the little bell so it says all, so that way every time I come out with something new, you'll be alerted. Don't forget to go to coconutjustice.com and get you some dope gear. And with that, I'm out.